In ISO 14971, the Standard on Risk Management, section 5.4, it states that we must identify all known and foreseeable hazards and that we must do so for the intended use, for reasonably foreseeable misuse, and for anything safety related in both normal and fault conditions. And for these hazards, we must consider any reasonably foreseeable sequence or combination of events that can lead to a hazardous situation. And as you see in note 3, of course, the harm that could come from it. And lastly, but very importantly, we must do so for the entire life cycle of the device. But to do so, we must first understand what hazards, hazardous situations and harms are. Note 4 refers to ISO TR 29471 for an explanation, and we'll briefly illustrate these concepts next. Let's start at the end first. Harm is defined by ISO 14971 Article 3.3 as injury or damage to the health of people or damage to property or the environment. Now, a hazard is a potential source of harm. As an example, in any electric device that you power via a wall plug, electricity is a hazard, a potential source of harm that may lead to electrocution, burn wounds of the user, which would be a harm. But for a hazard to actually cause harm, first a sequence of events must occur that leads to a hazardous situation in which the harm is caused. If the syringe pump is used and functions properly, there's no hazardous situation at all. All is safe. But if the user accidentally trips close to the device and in their fall pulls the power cord, causing it to break, then it might have uncovered bits of electric wire exposed. And if the next event in the sequence is that the user accidentally touches the wires, they might get an electric shock. Now, hazardous situations can occur from situations of normal use and can even be part of the intended use of a device, like for a razor-sharp scalpel. Now, the last example with the syringe pump was a hazardous situation resulting from what is called a random fault. It does not really have a relation to any kind of design flaw, production flaw, or misuse. It's just something that could happen. Other hazardous situations resulting from random faults would be a part of the electronics failing because, well, it simply did, or a surgical device accidentally not being sterile because someone sneezed on it right before it got used. Another type of hazardous situations are hazardous situations resulting from systemic faults. That's when something in the design, production, maintenance, intended use, labeling, or documentation of a device is such that it will systematically cause a failure or hazardous situation under certain circumstances. This could be when the user manual of a device has a wrong instruction, so that if the user follows the instructions, harm is caused. Or when there is a bug in the software for detecting tumors in MRI images, causing tumors to be missed when they are not round enough. Or when during the design of the syringe pump, the required specs for the motor were calculated too low. So now, whenever the user sets the infusion speed higher than 70% of the maximum, the pump doesn't reach the desired speed anymore. So if there is a hazard, a series of events may cause a hazardous situation to develop that could lead to harm. But it doesn't always do that, luckily.